Whoa, wait a second. Weird. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It's like half on, half off. ah! Let me just do a technical difficulties thing. All right, well, I guess I'm doing a half show here. All right, guys. Good morning, Raptor Freak. Lexi Odds here. I'm in the half zone for some reason. I don't know why, but we'll make it a quick stream today. This is really weird. I'm gonna have to figure out what the setting was that did this or what's going on here. Um, all right, I'm just gonna play on the fly like a professional would. Y'all, yesterday Bobby Webster had a press conference at 12:30 talking about the draft, and he was talking about their strategy for how they want to handle the draft, and it was very interesting. Like honestly, he did once again a classic Bobby Webster press conference where he doesn't really tell a lot, but he does tell a lot. Like one of the things I took the most away from what he said was that he thinks that there's really good value in getting an all-star in the second round. So this man's basically saying code like I'm shooting to get an all-star level kind of player with the 33rd pick of the draft on Thursday, which is crazy. Good morning, Jimmy Pope. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera this morning. It's just one side, but at least I'm on here or something. I don't know what's going on. This may just be a weird Wednesday. That's what it is. It's a what you gonna do, Bobby Webster Wednesday, and it's a weird one because I got half a screen. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. This is really weird because I don't know the whole story either. It's like it's very there's a void of doubt and wondering what is going to happen with the draft, and this is what's symbolized with half a stream today. It's very strange. G saying he said they are more comfortable in the area in this area of picks. Yeah, he did say that. There's a lot of math that isn't adding up. If you think about what all has talked about with this draft, they worked out 72 players, six groups of 12 or 12 groups of six, something like that. 72 players, there's only 60 picks in the draft, and the Raptors only get one. And then he's talking about how Dan Tolzman has a hard time getting the higher prospects up to Toronto to work out because they all think they're going to go way before 33. And he said that 45 of those guys think they're going to go before 33. So you do the math. There's going to be somebody who's not going to be getting in that 33 out of those 45. So there's all kinds of interesting stuff that could happen. I really have like extreme confidence in our team to select a very, very good player at 33 tomorrow night. So I watched Greg's clip this week, Gubstown Clink. Good stuff, Greg. Really interesting your thoughts about trading the pick to trade down and get two lower picks and get two second round guys. But I actually don't agree with this strategy because I think we can just get somebody good for 33 and then wait and see who's undrafted and get a second player anyway. So it's not like we're going to be starved to get two players from this draft. It just may be one of them is going to be undrafted and stuff like that. Let's see. Monique is here. Good morning, Monique. So good to see you as always. I'm only half here, apparently. Really weird. Really weird. Tom Duke saying, morning. Let's go. Sonny's here. Good to see Sonny. Hey, morning, Raptors freak. Met you at Scotty's stream the other day. Oh, Sonny, that's right. Yeah. Awesome. Good to see you here. I was hoping I'd get more crossover from the Twitch streams to the stream that we do here. I really appreciate you being here. Today, we're talking about Bobby Webster's press conference yesterday. One of the cool things he said was about OG. He's like, well, OG's here in Toronto right now. In fact, he's in the other room working out, OVO, and he's not having any problems. It's like it's nothing to talk about OG rumors wanting to leave or him being dissatisfied. That's why they haven't commented on it, because there really is nothing to report, Jake Fisher or any of you other NBA people that are trying to spread stuff around about OG being unsatisfied being in Toronto. Well, the man's in the other room shooting around on an OVO Drake hoop. So I don't think he has any problem playing for Toronto, Jake from State Farm. Oh, yeah. And good to see you, Sonny. I hope you come more often. Today's just a weird Wednesday. It's weird because I got half a screen and we're wondering what Webster will do. Lots of alliteration today. Yeah. Jimmy Pope's here. I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah, we're wondering too. It's like, look, we have no idea what's going to happen. These guys are geniuses. I'm not smarter than Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri when it comes to general managing. So I'm not going to try an armchair quarterback or do anything like this. I'm not going to have an emotional investment in whatever decision they make. Because listen, I did that last year and I was so happy when they drafted Scotty Barnes. And Scotty came out yesterday with a thing on his Instagram talking about, yeah, y'all were mad at first, but now look at y'all with how I got drafted and put on Toronto, stuff like that. Listen, I don't think it's exactly what you think, Scotty. It wasn't that Toronto fan was upset that you got drafted here. Maybe some of them were. These people that have emotional investment in getting Jalen Suggs and being like, oh, I wanted to be right and say we're getting Jalen Suggs. Well, when that didn't happen, maybe some of them were disappointed just from their own ego. But I'll tell you this, like in the draft room, when you got drafted that night, those sounds that were coming from the crowd were not from Raptor fans. Those sounds were from general NBA fans that were just at the draft. And the reason why they made that noise is because they were shocked about the pick, because they were all so sure that we were going to pick Jalen Suggs. And then when that name did not come out of Adam Silver's mouth and it was Scotty Barnes, everybody went, oh, it was more like that. There was no booing. There was no kind of negative reaction. It was really more like a, oh shit reaction. It was almost like, oh my gosh, the Raptors went off script and this is totally different. That's what I read that reaction as. Now, maybe online, some people, Raptor fans were idiots and they were like, why did we do this? Then they were raising a stink. But that initial reaction, those were NBA fans that were at the draft, because that draft was not here in Toronto. Those were not draft people for Toronto. Those were just general NBA fans shocked to see the Raptors go off script and take Scotty Barnes when everybody was telling us we were going to take Jalen Suggs. So this is why I don't get invested in the pick and having like a front runner or somebody, ooh, we have to draft this person. And you especially can't have it with a draft pick in the second round at 33, because so many different things can happen. And it really does sound like Bobby Webster and Dan Tolzman and Masai Ujiri are looking at where the picks from the first round that think they're going to get picked in the first round are going to fall into the early second round. And listen, if Bobby's right and he can get an all-star with the 33rd pick, that's what we're going to look and see. This is a little timestamp for the day before the 2022 NBA draft. Let's see if Bobby Webster can draft a future all-star tomorrow. We'll remember the name and we'll be like, wow, maybe this guy will be an all-star someday because of what he's saying. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. It's good to see so many people in today. Tom Duke saying, I fell for it and I have not spent too much time defending not trading any of our studs like OG and Fred VanVleet last year. It was Pascal that these same folks wanted to trade. Maybe the trade whoever folks are correct. Well, Greg had a really good clip on his recent his piece that he released yesterday. He made a clip that was partly about trading down and getting 2 picks in the second round, and then the other part was talking about how we need to stop freaking out as Raptor fans about the cap and about paying everybody money, because this is what the Golden State Warriors did. They built from within. They get players, they invest in them, they keep them together over time, they pay them over time, they don't let them walk, they keep value for them. Like what we did with the Lowry trade, we got value for him in return instead of just losing a player like a Chris Bosh when we lost Chris Bosh when he walked to Miami. With that Lowry, he was a sign and trade, and we got Precious in the deal back. So it's that kind of thing. You want to build value on top of the value you've already built on your team. And the reason why people are upset about Fred getting an extension is silly, because there's enough money for everybody. Listen, we were supposed to try and get Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Supermax a couple years ago, but he re-signed with Milwaukee. Well, that big, huge spot of roster money is still out there, and that'll eventually be Scotty Barnes' money. But yeah, we can have as much as we want. It's not that we're a have-not. We can do this with our cap and us having our players come from being drafted and organically from our team with bird rights and different things like that. We can keep this team good and healthy and the way it is and keep the core guys. So people need to stop worrying about Fred getting re-signed for too much and it hurting us re-signing people later, because there's going to be enough for everybody. Trust us. Trust us. Greg put a really good outline on it on his latest clip. So go check it out. Gubstown Clink. Greg, he's got great content. I'll put a link to it in there saying G saying he said it was not trustworthy. Yeah, there's nothing trustworthy about rumors that come from the United States about the Raptors players. That these people aren't close enough. These people aren't even coming across the border. How the hell are they supposed to know how the Raptors feel, whether they're happy or not? If you hear it from Michael Grange, or you hear it from Josh Lewenberg, you hear it from Eric Koreen, you hear it from Doug Smith, Mike Ganter, then maybe you can look into seeing whether it is real or not, because these men are real bona fide Raptors reporters that are with the team and around the team. They were at the press conference with Bobby Webster yesterday, stuff like that. So Click's here. Good to see Click. Good morning. We have no control over the outcome. They proved me wrong last year, and I won't judge. I like that. Click is saying that he had an idea of what they should have done in the draft last year, and they did something totally different, and it all worked out real great. Oh, yeah, it did. And Click is just like, I will put my trust in Messiah and Bobby, and that is all I want to do. That's why I'm not going to do too much speculation. Sure, I have a short list of players that I'd really love to see the Raptors draft at 33. Guys like Kai Soto, Caleb Houston. These two guys in particular are two of my favorites that they possibly could draft. But I have no ego in this. If they go off the board and get somebody that nobody even knows who they are, like a Pascal Siakam, that name gets taken out of the mouth of Adam Silver or whoever's doing it may be that deputy GM for a second round. If he says, or the NBA commissioner, if he says whatever name he says, I'm going to trust in it. It could be a Pascal Siakam kind of name where it's like everybody looks at him like, who the fuck? And then they're like, whoa, this guy's all NBA in 5 or 6 years. So we got to trust in them because they have a good track record for sure. G saying, yes, there were Toronto fans upset. Media hyped up Suggs. I was so happy we got Barnes day one. Yes, Scotty, there were some of us that didn't get caught up in the hype train of Jalen Suggs, and we were just pleasantly surprised. I didn't pay any attention to the draft last year. I didn't even watch the draft last year. In fact, I feel kind of stupid that I didn't get to watch Scotty Barnes get drafted by the Raptors live. That I missed that moment. I was like busy. I was like, Bobby's going to do whatever he's going to do. He's going to do a good job. And I was right. And I kind of wish I had watched that moment. So if we ever get another high lottery pick like this, I will definitely be watching it because I want to catch that historic moment. I wish I had seen Scotty live get drafted. But I was so happy to see that it was a Florida State guy from my alma mater and somebody that's just awesome, like Scotty is. I mean, the Twitch is so much fun. You can ask Sonny, you can ask Click, you can ask different people that have come into his Twitch and seen the awesomeness of having the connection with Scotty, being able to communicate with him directly, and him just talking back and forth with us and playing 2K and just being a kid and having fun. Because Scotty's a real one. Seriously, he's a real one. Yes, Scotty, we love you so much. Let's see. Monique saying Bobby did good yesterday. Lots to take away from it. Yeah, he's like, you got to read between the lines with Bobby Webster and what he says. Once again, he's saying that they want another versatile defensive player that if they can shoot, that's great. And that's kind of infuriating some Raptor fans right now on Twitter, that they're like, Bobby, you need shooters. Why are you talking about just getting more long arm monsters, just more guys with really long wingspans that are really defensive and versatile players? Because we have tons of them right now. And this has been your building strategy for a few years now. You just going more and more in that direction. I get it. And I kind of like it because this is bold and gutsy. And that these dudes have a real master plan and that they're sticking to it. Most teams in this league do not have a master plan. They don't even know what they're doing half the time. They're like, maybe we'll just take the best available pick. But they have no idea what their identity they want to build for their team is. They don't know what kind of pieces should actually fit together and work together. I mean, you can look at the Sacramento Kings. You can look at the New York Knicks. You can look at certain teams and see that they don't have an identity. They don't really fit together. And that team building by a GM really can make this happen for teams to be better. Is like you put the right people together on the right team and then boom, good things happen. But a lot of teams don't understand how to do this. They just draft the best or their needs, and that they're not really thinking about the whole picture like maybe Bobby Webster is and stuff like that. I really, really like it. BTOB's here. Let's see what BTOB's saying. Trust. Oh, wow. There's a lot here. I got to catch up real quick. Morning, everyone. What happened with the camera? I don't know what's going on with the camera, BTOB. I'm going to have to fix it. It's a weird Wednesday. Obviously, it's a half price. You're getting half price or half the content. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know what it is. Like there's something covering it up right now. I'm going to have to fix it. and figure out so it won't be like this tomorrow for sure. And he's saying trust in Masai, Bobby, and Dan, of course. G's saying some of those fans were Orlando fans too who were shocked. Yeah, that's true. Some of those fans were the Orlando fans, and they were giddy about this. Like, not giddy like Josh Giddey, but giddy because they were getting Jalen Suggs, and they thought, oh, we really lucked out, and Toronto fucked up. And no, we didn't. We did exactly what we were supposed to do, and we made the best decision. We got Scotty, Big Roy, Big Four, number 4 Barnes. That's right, baby. Monique saying, so Lex, Luca wants Kai Soto after all, just his latest video. Okay, so Luca Rosano's come around to Kai Soto. This so weird how people are not talking about him. ESPN does not give him any kind of publicity. Sporting News, all the different rankings are not talking about Kai Soto. They won't even put on their list. I don't know what's going on. But I've also heard the Lakers, who do not have a draft pick, are desperately trying to acquire a draft pick right now just to get Kai Soto. So the Lakers really want Kai Soto bad right now, apparently. But that's what I'm hearing, and I'm all about Kai Soto. If he's at 33 and Bobby Webster wants to go ahead and pull that trigger, go get him. Go get him. BTOB saying, classy way of saying BS, nothing noteworthy. Yeah. Bobby was awesome about the OG question. It was right at the end of the press conference, and it's the kind of thing where it's like, listen, we have good communication with OG. If we knew something was wrong with him or he was upset, he'd let us know because he's not going to hold back. He'll let us know. He knows that he can talk to us about his needs, his wants as a player with the Raptors. And this is just all made up bullshit. Like they think that OG is the odd man out in the rotation because he's maybe not so in the forefront. And they're like, well, this guy's really good, but he's not like Scotty. He's not like Fred. He's not Pascal. What about him? He shouldn't be on that team. Maybe he's unhappy. They connect the dots. They try and fill in the blanks, and it's stupid because they're totally wrong. It's totally wrong. Jordan's saying Chris Bosh is my favorite basketball player. Okay, Jordan, you like Chris Bosh? Chris Bosh was a good pro for us for many years, and then he turned his back on us. And I will never forgive him for that. I used to love Chris Bosh. I was friends with him on Facebook, and I would message him words of encouragement during his career with the Raptors. And then when he went to Miami, he defriended me on Facebook, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Chris Bosh defriended me personally. We were Facebook friends, and then he defriended me when he went to Miami because he knew I was a Raptor freak and I would be upset with him. So he just preemptively defriended me before he made the decision. BTOB, Bobby is really classy. Bobby's awesome. He's slick. He's really savvy with the media. He gives them answers, but he doesn't tell too much. He's very, very good PR kind of dude. And I'm really glad he's on our team. G saying, I almost want them to go off script again and watch the reactions. Yeah, of course. Maybe that's just our MO. It's like the Raptors going to do some crazy draft stuff, which is badass. And everybody's going to be like, whoa, Bruno Caboclo, something like that. They'll get that weird reaction. Kenny's saying at 33, we trust. They will pick the best option. Yeah, they'll pick the best option. That's what he said. He said he's picking the best available. That's what he's looking at. Now, the thing is, the difference is what does his draft board look like compared to other teams' draft boards? He may value guys way higher than other teams, and that the best available in his eyes may be somebody that is not picked in the first 32 picks. So that's what I'm saying. Like Bobby Webster has an interesting draft list, I'll bet, of people that he values higher than other people, and what that order and ranking is. We'll get all taken, a couple of them out in the first round, different teams taking those guys, and we'll see. Maybe he might have a top 10 on his ranking list still available at 33 that nobody else is seeing, that everybody's overlooking, and that Webster knows, and he's going to go get it. Oh my gosh, that's what I think is going to happen. G saying, Scotty's saying he has an entire country behind him. He will recruit players for sure. Yeah, I was there when he said this. I think Sonny was there too, maybe. Yeah, one of his buddies on the stream was acting like he was an interviewer, and he was doing like a professional interview with him. And then when he was at Boston for that finals game, when he was a reporter, he did a bunch of backstage media scrum with international reporters. So he sat down and with like 4 or 5 of them, and there's all these little interviews with different reporters from around the world with Scotty Barnes, and a lot of them have been very interesting. And he's been saying a lot of the same things, that he loves being in Toronto, that he really feels very blessed and happy that he landed in the perfect spot. And he said the same damn thing thing on the stream the other day, and it was so nice to hear him say it all. I mean, this is something that I was saying during the season is like, Scotty, you got to realize that you ended up on the Toronto Raptors, a real playoff team, not a lottery team, not a team that is garbage, that is rebuilding like the Sacramento Kings or something like that, or the Knicks. You landed on a functional, good team that's going to help you develop into the best young player that you can be at a very young age, that you won't have to go through a mire of dysfunction that another team might be. And that is why he should feel very lucky and blessed that he's on a winning team right away, a team where he will develop faster, learn winning faster, and he's just in a better place. Like, just in general, we know Scotty's in the best spot and he realizes it. It's really good to hear him say it himself. Monique saying Pascal back to doing charity work. Yes, Monique hitting one of my things I want to talk about. Pascal Siakam yesterday was in Regent Park giving out laptops to people. It's so awesome. He rolls up in this bus and he comes out and everybody, like the guy introduces him and he comes out, hey, it's Pascal. And he's just started giving out laptops to kids that need them, that don't have the chance to get these laptops. He's giving out laptops to needy. And that's awesome. Good job, Pascal Siakam, with your charity work. Always awesome to see stuff like that. I was going to touch on that, and I'm glad Monique brought it up. Tom Duke saying, I wonder how upset Bulls and Heat execs are expecting about losing their picks for tampering. I don't know how upset they are about it. I mean, that was a weird thing, and they did deserve to get punished for what they did. I mean, even though it's like, the Lowry thing, we knew it was going to happen, stuff like that. Was it worth it for them? I don't know, Tom. Probably not a big deal because those two picks are at the end of the second round. So it's not like they're super value picks. They could end up just being another Euro slow car or something like that. Kenny saying, Bobby saying the goal is to shoot more than you while limiting your shooting chances. Like, you're talking about how we shot more, like by getting on the offensive boards and getting more off turnovers from getting steals from the other team, stuff like that. We get more field goal attempts, we can beat the other team. That is just pure math. You get 15 to 20 more field goal attempts in the other team. It doesn't matter if you shoot better than them. If you make more of them, more field goals in the end, even though you have a worse shooting percentage, that's kind of been their strategy. Yeah. I still don't totally agree with this. I think I'm with some of Raptors Twitter where they're saying we do need shooters and stuff like that. And speaking of shooters, Svi Mihalik exercised his player option yesterday, and a lot of people are upset about this. But, listen, I'm going to trust in Bobby Masai to make the right decision when it comes to Svi. That, yes, he has exercised his player option, so that means he wants to play for us next season. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he will. That Bobby and Masai can still waive him that before the season or something like that. But it's really going to have to come into training camp with a really good effort and show that he can shoot better this year. That Mahalik, if you want to be on the Raptors this year, you better be a dead eye and you better show that you worked hard this summer and that you got your shot back and that maybe you can be the role that we wanted you to be last year, that you weren't this year and stuff like that. I would really, really love to see a redemption story with Steve Mahalik and see him come back next season and make all the ones that he should have made last year and more this season. Like, what if he comes back and he is just a magical player for us, that he all of a sudden is exactly what we needed him to be last season? The law averages and the way things work in the NBA is guys have on and off years. And it may be that Mahalik just had a really bad off year last year and that this year may be a bounce back year and you could see some amazing things from him. So even though he's doing his player option, and a lot of people are groaning about it, just like people in Houston are groaning about John Wall doing the same thing. It's the same kind of thing. It's like, he's back on the team, but you know what? Let's give him a chance. There's a reason why Bobby and Masai gave him this contract with a player option on it. And, if they really don't want him on the team, they'll get rid of him before the season starts. But I always love a comeback story, like a story where a guy's been down, he's been maligned, he hasn't done well, and then boom, all of a sudden he comes back and he kicks some major ass. So that's what I'm hoping will happen with Svi Mihalik this year, if we do allow him to continue to play for us. So, all right, let's keep going. OG saying OG is with Clutch Sports. Wonder if that has anything to do with it. No, I don't think so. I think it's just Jake looking at the terrain of the Raptors roster and saying that OG may be the man out and that he may be the one. If anybody's upset or disappointed, it may be him. He's just guessing. He's grasping at straws. And he doesn't realize that everybody's feeling pretty good about how they feel about the Raptors and stuff. I mean, if you went to Thad Young and asked him, do you want to come back to Toronto? I think he'd be telling you, yeah, I'd love to come back to Toronto. So, it's that kind of stuff. Kenny's saying, oh, wait, let me it jumped ahead. I want to make sure. Monique saying news and notes. Nick Nurse performing at the Jazz Festival. Yes, that's on my list also. Monique is hitting my news bulletins here. I have my little pad and it has a couple of names on here. Nick Nurse. All right, y'all. If you're going to be in Toronto this Sunday, go to Avenue Road and Bloor Street. That there is a jazz festival in Toronto this weekend, and Nick Nurse will be playing on Sunday afternoon, I'm guessing sometime in the afternoon, with the New Power Generation. Now, if you guys don't know who the New Power Generation is, that is Prince's old backing band. Yes, the artist formerly known as Prince, the man known as Prince, Purple Rain, Mr. Prince, Minneapolis, Minnesota Prince. Yes. And you guys got to understand how much of an impact Prince has had on Nick Nurse's life. That the first song that Nick Nurse ever learned how to play on the piano is Purple Rain, y'all. Purple rain, purple rain. Only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Yeah, but he is going to get to play with Prince's band. It's going to be like a lifelong dream for Nick Nurse. Holy crap, he's having a good week. He's going to get to go play with the New Power Generation at the Toronto Jazz Festival, the corner of Bloor and Avenue Road, Sunday afternoon. Y'all better be there or be square. You're going to get to see some badass jazz and Nick Nurse tickling the ivories with Prince's old band. I'm sure he is just giddy about this. And I don't mean Joshua either here. He's just giddy about playing with the New Power Generation. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you brought that up, Monique. And it's fantastic. I might have to go down there and just catch some of the purple vibes of the Purple Raptors with the Raptors coach and the Prince's New Generation band. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. Kenny's saying Clutch is known to feed narrative to media to get their guy out or into a situation. Well, it could be, but honestly, I don't think so. You realize we have a really good foundation. We have a really good core. We have good management. We have a good coach. We have good young rookie. We have so many good things in Toronto that other team nations do kind of subterfuge, that they kind of put out stuff to try and mess things up, try and make things not seem so rosy. And this is what Jake's doing. Jake comes from Philadelphia. Jake is living in Brooklyn. Jake covers New York sports. Jake covers Philadelphia sports. And that this guy is just trying to cause some waves, just like he did last year with the Siakam rumors. He did the same damn thing last summer. This year is just OG is the flavor of the year. So it's basically a guy who's a hack writer who's a fan of other teams that is kind of trying to sewer us and make us have problems just by writing bullshit is what it is. It could be Clutch having a factor in it, but I don't think it does. I don't think OG would want to have an agency that is manipulating or meddling with his career like this. That you got to remember, OG didn't join Clutch originally. That OG was in Octagon. His agent, Omar, was Octagon. And what happened was that Clutch got Omar and made him join Clutch. That he came from Octagon and brought his clients with him, OG and Trae Young. And that what happened was that now all of a sudden that's why he's in Clutch. That OG's not necessarily a Clutch kind of guy. He's an Octagon guy who got swallowed up and put into Clutch because of that. And I don't think he's that kind of guy that wants waves. Like, look at his personality. Do you think he wants drama? Do you think he wants like bullshit about him out in the press? No. So I think this is purely coming from Jake and not from his management. Because if it was coming from his management, I think OG would be pissed right now. Because once again, as Scotty said, bad news from my sources and laugh face. So that's what it is right there. David saying, morning, Raptor fans. I'm sure I missed the story about the half black screen, or is my computer just broken? I have no idea what's going on, David. It's a weird Wednesday in this weird way that I just have half a screen. I have no idea what it is, what setting or what has happened this caused this. I will make sure that it's not like this for tomorrow. I promise, David. It's so weird. David saying, I'm pretty sure it's only 500,000 guaranteed for Svi. Okay, so you're saying like we got to pay him at least 500,000, but if we don't want him on the team, we cut him and he doesn't get that full 1.5 million that he's supposed to get this season for his salary that he did his player option. Okay, that's good information. That sounds about right. Kenny's saying, "Oh, nice. We'll see if I can go watch Nick perform. Already going for a show July the 2nd. Awesome, Kenny. Well, I'm glad we could tell you about Nick Nurse at the Jazz Festival this weekend. Man, seriously, this man's going to be playing with Prince's band, and then on the 1st of July, he's going to be coaching Team Canada against Dominican Republic in Hamilton. So go check that out also. That's going to be amazing, amazing. I want to go to that Team Canada game, and I don't know how I'm going to get to Hamilton. I really want to go to it if I can. Monique saying, stay positive for Svi. Yeah, we want to listen. This is what we're doing here at the Raptor Freak Channel. We're positive Raptor fans. We're not sewering our players. He had a bad year. He had his home country at war. There's all kinds of sad things going on for Svi in some ways. We want to cheer him up. We want to root for him, and we want to see him succeed. So if he has a path to be on the Raptors this year where he is huge for us as a shooter, I am all for it. That'll help our team, help him, help everybody. That's what we want. Tom Duke saying, maybe Beal is coming here. Happy about Svi for sure. Redemption year for our Ukrainian. I don't want Beal here. I do not want Beal here. He's somebody on my list that I don't want. This whole thing about him opting out with Washington and like they're saying it's Philadelphia. It's really going to look like Philadelphia. That it could be the kind of thing where they sign and trade for Harden. That Harden all of a sudden's in Wizards and Beal is all of a sudden in Harden's spot in Philadelphia. That is where I think that Bradley Beal is going to go. Also heard that Bradley Beal could be on the Lakers. That could be the trade that Russ ends up back in Washington. Russell Westbrook, you're hilarious. Stuff like that. So we'll have to see how it all works out. I don't want Bradley Beal in Toronto. I don't think he fits us. He's a high usage, poor shooting percentage player at this time. Like he shoots a lot and misses a lot. And we don't want him taking all our shots and stuff like that. So let's see. G thinks that Svi will bounce back. I think so. I hope so. I really do. BTOB saying, I feel that Raptors draft based on talent and character. I know there have been some hiccups here, but on the most part, they've been pretty good. Yeah, well, those hiccups from before were from other GMs. We really got to look at the track record of Bobby Webster, Masai Ujiri era that we do really well. Like in the last little while, we have drafted guys like Pascal and OG and Scotty. That those are huge home runs at their different spots where they got drafted and stuff like that. So forget about the Alex Radojeviches and the Rafael Arujos. Those were all other GMs from the past. And, Isaiah did a good job in the beginning, and now we're doing really well now with the draft. So I feel real good about it. Monique saying, right now, I'm just waiting for Chris Boucher or Mo Bamba updates and Fred too. Yeah, we want to see Chris signed right back up real fast and real quick. And we'll see about Fred's extension. I'm not too, if it happens, it happens this summer. If it doesn't, we know we'll get Fred figured out at some point. G saying Beal tweeted basically saying, about the rumors. Well, he opted out. He said that he wanted to continue to play for the Wizards last year, but I guess he's had enough. And that this dude is probably gone from the Wizards for next year. It'll be very interesting to see. Tom Duke saying so much BS floating around stirred up by trade first fans. Yeah, this is the thing. We really need to cultivate the garden we're growing and the plants we're putting in there. We don't need to keep ripping plants out of the ground and putting them in other yards. They're much more healthier and grow better when the root system gets to really grow out underneath and have stability in one place. And that's part of the reason why I love the idea of Scotty Barnes being with Toronto forever. Other guys like Fred, sure, same thing. If we can pay all of them and do similar things to what Golden State has done with their roster and paying guys and keeping the nucleus together, I want to do the same thing with this nucleus that we currently have on the Raptors right now. So it looks like I went over most of my list just from the cues from Monique. Monique said, talked about Bobby Webster's press conference yesterday. Very astute, great GM in this league. I'm so happy that he's the man making the decisions and that Bobby is trusted by Masai. Masai really gives him advice and they talk about it, but Bobby is the general manager and that we need to realize that this responsibility is on him to a degree. Now, Dan Tolzman has his responsibilities in this whole process also, but ultimately it is Bobby that is going to pull the trigger and decide what we do at 33, whether we trade it and try and go up or we try and go down like Greg was saying in his clip. I think we should just pick one guy at 33 and then maybe pick up an undrafted guy and bring him to camp to compete for a spot after the draft. And I have the names that I like. I mean, we'll talk about it more on the Thursday Think Tank special 2022 NBA draft Thursday Think Tank tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Hopefully you won't just get a half Lexi. You'll get the whole screen Lexi. This is really weird what's going on with my camera this morning. I'll have to figure out what happened with my computer and why it's doing this. And then Nick Nurse Jazz Festival Sunday, New Power Generation. That is right. Nick Nurse is going to be cranking out the Prince tunes on the street in Toronto on Sunday afternoon at Avenue Road and Bloor Street. So go down there on Sunday if you want to see Nick Nurse tickle the ivories to some Prince tunes. Oh, yeah. Siakam, a charitable man, giving out the laptops in Regent Park yesterday. Good job, Pascal. You are the man. We love you. Svi, exercise player contract option. He is going to be coming back as he wants to, but we'll see if the management decides that that's a good idea or not. That could be changing before the season starts. But Svi has signaled that he would like to be back on the Raptors for next season. And then Scotty Barnes Instagramming about the draft day last year and how everybody was upset about it. And then they found out real quick that it was a great move and everything was awesome. And we're just kind of trying to, like, once again, much like the Durant injury in the finals in 2019 or the stuff that happened in the Philadelphia series just recently in the playoffs, people try and paint a brush on the Raptor fans for how they do things, but sometimes it's other people's idea of what we're doing and they're pushing in the narrative. Like the whole thing I just talked about with draft day last year, I really don't think those were Raptor fans that made that noise. Those were just Orlando fans, as somebody put it in the stream, NBA fans general that were like, whoa, because it was kind of a shock. It's kind of like if you're at a wrestling match and somebody just comes out all of a sudden you didn't expect and you're like, whoa, it's like that. It's not like boo or I'm upset. It's more like, wow, this is not what I expected. This is a different thing that was supposed to happen. They went off script, basically. And that's really like they try and paint it the other way. But realize, Scotty, a lot of us didn't have any invested in Jalen Suggs. Some Raptor fans did, and it's stupid. Y'all need to let it go. If you're still holding on to Jalen Suggs at this point, you're kind of an idiot. But last summer, the people that were down on Scotty and talking Jalen Suggs, y'all were idiots last year. And y'all need to just start trusting in Bobby and Masai, because that Scotty Barnes pick is a perfect example of their genius and not being afraid to go against what the whole NBA media machine is telling them what to do. So I'm really excited about tomorrow night and pick number 33. We're just going to have to find out what he's going to do. Yeah, and Monique's saying, hear me out, fans. No to Beal. I'm with Monique 100% on this stance about Bradley Beal. We do not need his kind of contract and his kind of like usage and that kind of stuff. He's going to take too much away. Evelyn's here. Can't wait to see Nick Nurse this Sunday. Evelyn, you're going to go down to the Jazz Festival. That's awesome. And maybe you'll bring baby Candace with you. I love you guys. So happy to see you. All right, y'all. Well, let me wrap it up. Tomorrow, Thursday Think Tank. Hopefully I'll have my full camera. This is very strange, very weird. It's a Wednesday. And yeah, let's see what Bobby Webster's going to do with the number 33. Real quick. I just got a buddy here he's like, all right, let's go Raptors. And I'll see y'all in, tomorrow. All right.
What you gonna do, brother? Bobby Webster? What you gonna do with the 33rd pick, man? Have you been saying your prayers and eating your vitamins, Bobby? And you're gonna get the right player at 33? You better get the right player. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when Raptor Mania comes crashing down on you? Oh, yeah.